Okay, this is just to show the cataloguer submission form and just to show the process. Okay, the first thing that we'll do is we're going to register or sign in. The admin people should always do it at this point. Contribute will take you to the user interface. So register and sign in. Then we log in as our username, which is an admin account. This is actually what I would call a super cataloguer. There should be another role which is just a cataloguer, and all they can do is add users. They can add users and add their own stories, but they're unable to edit other stories that other cataloguers have created. Okay, so we click on login. The first thing that you do is that you come to this screen here, which has the admin tools here. Some of these are old tools, which perhaps we don't need anymore. For instance, contributions, review and approve or reject contributions. I'm sure that some of this will have to change. So the collection day, you choose the collection day. Get away with using the small acronyms because I think that will be confusing for the people that are at this stage now. They just want the simple Antwerp and the date. So we're going to click on that and then start the collection day. And then you've got this little landing page here, which is the cataloguer submission form for, and then the place that you've just chosen. This here should be. We'll have to test this, whether the add story is the main one or the create a users account is the main one. I'm not too sure. The reason why there's two different ones is because you could have two different processes. You could have somebody who's just creating user accounts at the registration desk. You could have somebody that's just creating the stories at the story process, or you could have somebody that's creating both. And so this actually allows for all of these situations. So first of all, we're going to create a user account. Click on that. And then what you get here is you get the contributor's username, password, contributor's name, address, postcode, telephone number, age, which is optional, the sex, which is optional, email address, optional, and contributed on behalf of, optional. This last field here is dependent on whether somebody would contribute a story for different people. If they had a story which related to an uncle, and then they had another story which related to somebody else, some other items, a brand new story, then perhaps this needs to move to the story flow. I'm not too sure about that one. So these are all from the paper form. So we'll fill this in. The contributor's username is the contributor's name and with a dot in between. Password, address, postcode, and so forth. As you can see, I didn't disclose the sex, but I chose an age here. And also I contributed on behalf of Maria Hammond, who obviously wasn't available. And so then you've got the add user. Add user will take you back to this stage. So what you could do now is if you were the person who's just creating accounts, you create another account, and that goes on and on and on and on. But if you are a person that just adds a story, then you would go to the add story stage, which is here. And so the add story stage has the enter contributor's username, the story title, the story, the summary description of terms, optional information, cataloguer's optional notes which aren't published, and ticket numbers. These will relate to the items, and so you would list them here. The optional information is underneath here, which is the English title. Who the story is about is optional here. I'm not sure if that's right or not. In the interface for a user who's joining the site, they have to fill in the person's name. This is optional, but the person's name is not optional. So this is perhaps something that we may want to talk about. And then you can upload an image, add where the story takes place, put it on a map, etc., etc. This optional information can always be done at a later stage as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill this in without any optional information. So this is the username that was created in the step before. The story title, the story, the summary of the items, several photographs of locations being sent in, and there's the ticket number. So this ticket number is going to relate to these photographs here. Then we'll finish that. Then the finish takes you to this stage here. There are items that, actions which relate to what you've just done here. So view story, edit story, delete story, and add edit items. And then obviously these tools may or may not change at the bottom. Now you could continue to carry on adding another story, end the collection day, which will end this Antwerp collection. You can always access it, by the way, under all collection days, so you can always get back to this sort of area. Let's just view the story just to see how it looks now. So this is a story. This is published. There's no waiting process now, but obviously, because there's no wait, then we have to reassure with some sort of text here, just to say that things are being in a queue, try later. Obviously, this needs to be smart English and not this sort of stuff here. Get rid of the technical stuff. This is where Beth comes in. And up here you'll see contributed by Robert Hammond, so it's taken the name of the person who uses the bob.hammond account, and on behalf of Maria Hammond. So if it's on behalf of somebody, then that's listed here. If it was just Robert Hammond before on his own, then it would be contributed by Robert Hammond on Wednesday 21st. You can edit the story here, you can add the photographs here. Should you want to do that step, it's always available here. You can go back to the admin area, which will take you here. So if you continued, then you'd go back here and then you could add another story and so forth. But if you add another collection day, then you go back here where you can access the collection days, or you can return home and actually carry on with viewing Europeana.